Christmas has this magical ability to go from weeks away to, oh no, it's happening tomorrow, even when we feel well prepared. But what can happen sometimes is we may have our lists and we have our calendars and we have all these different things to help us get through our holidays. But then we kind of come upon what's called almost a Christmas chaos trap, something that just sneaks up on us and leaves us scrambling. But by the end of this video, I'm going to be able to share one simple step to help you escape that chaos and really just breathe again this season. But I'm not going to do this alone. I have invited a special friend with me, my guest, Shelly, who's going to help me break down this Christmas chaos trap and figure out how to better help whoever's listening to our video handle the holidays better. Shelly. Hello, welcome.
Well, thank you. I feel so honored to be here on your podcast. This is really exciting.
I
And
know
you
it's
picked a
brand
really
new.
fun, yeah, and you picked a fun topic.
Well, I was tired of talking about all the issues by myself, so I just figured that you could come and be a part of it. And so I'm just glad that you're here. I'm glad to have someone to talk about it. Hopefully, we'll have some fun with this. We'll try to
Yeah.
help a little ease the tension that holiday stress can bring. This Christmas chaos trap. I feel like I'm getting tongue tied just saying it, but I have a feeling I know what it means.
Oh, I do too. I've had it. I can already feel it coming with the holidays here. And yeah, we've got to try to avoid that. And hopefully we can show a way that we can do that today.
So subscribers, listeners, whoever is watching this video, please stay with us. We're going to keep talking about just one simple step, one simple way that we can almost break free from this chaos, that we can just have a breather and enjoy the season a little bit better.
I know for me during this holidays, everything kind of sneaks up upon us. And, I just don't know how this happens. No matter how much I plan, and I'm definitely a planner, I've gotten to be more of a planner year by year, but I just don't know how we get to this point.
Well, let's talk about why this keeps happening. And don't worry, we'll still get to that simple fix soon. But sometimes we just need to describe what the Christmas chaos trap looks like. I mean, how does it look like in your life? And then maybe we can talk about what it looks like in my life.
Well, I know for us, there's two, I think, probably big things that happen. It's really time is one of the biggest ones, and planning, but also trying to recreate things that were special in my childhood. And so I put a lot of pressure on myself. The time issue, unfortunately, well, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm a nurse, and so and I work in an emergency room, and I try not to get sick during this time, but notoriously, I always get sick. And I always have to work during some of the holiday portions. So you always have this expectation that I'm letting family members down,
Yeah.
which I do. I've certainly let my kids down and my parents down because I couldn't attend something, or I'll miss out on this event or that event. So that's never really very much fun. So trying to plan around all of those stuff and still fill it all up with all the stuff that you want to do during the holidays, because I really enjoy the holidays. That's been probably the biggest thing, but I always run out of time no matter what. And
And
then, you're disappointed.
yeah. And many of our listeners probably are familiar with that. Just feeling the strain of even how to move from your job to just having some time off. And yet you're trying to do the hustle and bustle, getting around. You're too busy. There's too much traffic. You're overcommitted. There's too many Christmas parties that nobody really wants to go to because you just want a break. Sometimes it's just, like you mentioned, you're just comparing. It can create just a Christmas chaos trap of just comparing. Well, that lady looks like she's just so put together and everything's organized. She's been planning for 6 months and she has it all organized. And I think that when we continue to engage in what other people are doing, it is what can get us in this trap of I'm not doing enough, or I'm not making this special enough. It's not memorable enough. And sometimes I think it's helpful, instead of getting caught up in this cycle, because also think about it, all the ways that we can get stressed, a lot of it's just the financial burden. All of a
Oh, yeah.
sudden, we really don't have all the extra money by December, if anything, to buy all these gifts. And everybody wants the newest, the greatest. You got all these mail outs, all these commercials, all of these things, depending on if you have small kids, grandkids, anything. And all of this is like, whoa, what is happening here? Why are we all acting nuts? And so hopefully we can continue to come back and figure out, when is this moment where everything starts unraveling, where we just feel like things are changing so fast with our attitudes, our outlooks. When do you feel like something starts unraveling for you?
For me, usually getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving. So our family's large, and I'm grateful. I know you've had to travel a lot more probably during the holidays than I've been able to. And most of my family being down here, it's really nice. But it's gotten so big that we finally do a gift exchange. However, trying to get everybody to commit to the gift exchange and do those making the lists of who does what and try not to make it the year before or the same as the year before and whatnot. That starts to get me a little stressed because then I'm starting to run out. And we've done it like 2 weeks before Christmas. How are you
Yeah.
supposed to go and get the right gift 2 weeks before Christmas?
You
You
know,
start running out of options and things get more expensive along the way.
yes. Yes, it does. And sometimes we have to just consider about what can help us slow down. And
Yeah.
I really like the thought of this. Just sometimes we have to have a daily reset. It can be,
Mhm.
it could be in the morning, it could be in the evening. Otherwise, things lump together, because I think what happens is we miss really the true. It's a cliche, but reason for the season, because it really is about sharing a relationship. And this, I just think, is a great moment when we think about how a shift can happen when things are unraveling. For me, it's when I just get so agitated, and I just now can't wait till the holiday is over with. And it's just, are we there yet? Can we start cleaning up everything? Can we? And then that's such a terrible way to go into the holidays of, are we done yet? Did we check off everything? Rather than anticipating, wow, today I get to share this experience with this family, or I get to go to this Christmas Eve service, or I get to be a part of this Christmas dinner, or I get to share in some neat things, or tell the Christmas story, read the word. And I'm reminded actually of Psalm 46, verses 10 and 11. And it's very familiar, but it's just, be still and know that I'm God, exalted among the nations, exalted on the earth. And this is a message from God that says, be still. And depending on your translation, it could be, stop fighting and know that I'm God. Isn't it interesting to think, Shelley, that in order to sometimes get connected and know God, we have to stop fighting with each other, or stop fighting with our expectations or what we think should happen, and remind ourselves that he's the one that's exalted, to be exalted. And in verse 11, it actually says, the Lord is with us, which is Emmanuel. God with us is Emmanuel. That's a term that's used for Christ at Christmas time. Often, God is our stronghold. When is it hard to just kind of be still? What do you think it makes it so hard to be still sometimes at Christmas time and just know that I'm God, reset, just take a moment to breathe?
It's finding that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's so very, very important, because, honestly, isn't that why we have Christmas anyway?
Mm-hmm.
And God promises us so much through Him bringing His Son to us and providing us with the salvation that only comes through Him. And so when we don't take those moments to identify why we're really celebrating the holidays, well, then why are we doing this to ourselves to begin with? So it's so important to take those moments, just like you said, every day, and whether it's in the morning or the afternoon or whatnot, but making sure you get it in before the sun sets. At the end of the day, it's just crucial to keep yourself grounded that way.
And maybe sometimes it's helpful if we ask a couple questions like, why am I so upset in this moment? Or why am I so
Mhm.
agitated? Or why am I fighting with this person? I mean, think about going into your favorite, retail store, and then you're just fighting over this item, or you're fighting, and it's just like, whoa, let's be still. Let's kind of get grounded. Let's just have a breather. Let's think through this, because in the end, for believers, we do want to be a witness of the reason why we're celebrating, even in front of someone that maybe doesn't see things that way. And so maybe we just need to break down, Shelley, the real trap that happens is it's not so much the activity, but it's really just losing our focus. We've kind of touched on that, the focus of the importance of the season of really coming together, of gathering together with your family. Yes, we all have some rough, pieces around our family, but if we're focused on the family of God and focused on Christ and His Word, and then it can make a difference on, you know what, this does not have to be this big a deal if I don't get that particular gift, because we're talking about the greatest gift ever, which is Jesus Christ for salvation. I'm also reminded just that sometimes there could be chaos all around us, but if you have a peace that passes understanding within you because of the understanding of the value of Christ and why He came. Psalm 62:1 says, I am at rest in God alone, my soul, for my hope comes from Him, and that shifts our hope to Him, then we're not hoping that everything goes perfectly. And everyone's going to think we're really great. And we're going to be that next, home on the block that everybody goes, they got it covered or whatever. It really is like, no, wait, everyone actually is searching for a hope that goes deeper than the perfect Christmas. It's the hope of eternal life, the hope of Christ at Christmas time.
Well, and I also think that when you do those things, and even slowing down in your heart and your mind, even though you can't always slow everything around you, God gives you opportunities to be that to just share your hope that's within you with other people. He gives those opportunities where you do the extra touch, and maybe you offer to pray for somebody who really needs prayer, or you take the time to provide a meal or a special gift for neighbors or friends that maybe don't get those kinds of things throughout the rest of the year, and share a little bit of Jesus with them. And you wouldn't have those opportunities if you're so busy about everything else that you don't take time to focus on Christ.
Absolutely. And some of that is what we're talking about, where that one simple thing that just kind of helps you escape the chaos and helps you kind of bring things back into perspective and have a breather is that 1 minute reset. And some of us may need 2 minutes, but it really is
Or
just,
three.
yeah, it's just stop it right now. And it may mean that you have to go into another room. Just, hey, as with your kids, just give mama a moment, or husband, I'm going to back off just a minute because I'm about to lose it, or it could be the agitation. It may sometimes I've known to just go sit in my car for a few minutes and just breathe for a little bit. And that's really what we're talking about. It's just this powerful reset. That's that one thing that can happen that can make a difference. You can start it today. You can start it in those moments where maybe you do that 1 minute reset is that you take a deep breath and you just pray. There's so many different prayers in scripture that are honestly just a couple words. God help me. God save me. God heal me. God help me relax. God be with me. Or, just all these things that just you start with God's name to say, I need you in this moment. Relax me. And I think when we switch back to that, then we're modeling for our family, like whether someone should be stressed at Christmas time or whether we truly can go and yeah, we're going to have some stressful times, but the benefits of just having this breathe and pray and ask what actually matters in this moment. I mean, that's what we're doing in that moment. What matters most right now? Because that's where we kind of get this emotional relief. We get the spiritual grounding. We're brought back to this sense of just a self-control. We have this kind of repeatable reset. And that's why it's so important to have those few moments in the morning to go, God, what word do you want from me today? Maybe it's a little note card of a verse to remind you. Maybe you just need to write, breathe, slow down, somewhere and do that. How do you think this can help other women throughout the season if we just think about this 1 minute reset rule? How could it help you, Shelley?
Well, I think you learn to enjoy the holiday a lot better. You're a lot nicer to be around,
Yes.
and you may get a few more hugs that way if you're not pushing everybody off because you're trying to move to the next thing that you have planned. Do you, like you said, I think God uses those things, and the older that I get, at least I know that he, like you said, he uses those things, but you have to honor him first. And if you don't, you are going to miss those opportunities. And I don't want to miss them at this stage in the game. I want to be attuned to what he has to say, and I want to just be aware of the things that are going on around me, and the way, and even how I may affect other people around me with what I'm doing. Because
Yeah.
if I'm not acting godly, how is that a good witness? So,
Well, and again, you spoke earlier that you're sometimes working as a
mm,
nurse, and a lot of people, if they are in retail, and sometimes it is even in those moments we need this 1 second reset, just to really kind of, whoa, let's hold on a minute, let's see how we can impact differently those around us, even though we can't maybe change what's happening or the chaos. Let's think, and sometimes, honestly, for these 1 minute resets, sometimes it is that you have to think through what's leading up to this. Maybe you do have too many things on your calendar, maybe you haven't built in enough margin, and so sometimes it can be that you just have some do something that is actually relaxing. It might be that you do enjoy cooking, or you take a little walk if you can, and it may be that you get some fresh air. Again, depending on wherever anybody is, it could be a little cold or warm or whatever, but it's just those moments to say you can't stop what you're doing overall, but you can take some moments, and it can start today, and it can make a difference for the long haul. Any last comments as we kind of wrap up our time about talking about the Christmas chaos trap? We want to get you untrapped, people.
untrapped.
Untrapped.
I really do like this 1 minute reset. I've used something very similar at work, actually, going in, and sometimes just wondering, I'm shy at heart, but when I can go in, I can be a different person in some respects, because you have to be, as a nurse, you got to go in and introduce your stuff. And sometimes taking that extra moment and breathing that prayer, Lord, give me the words and help me not to look rushed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really makes a big difference in just trying to find out what the problem is and being a comfort in a time
Yeah.
of need. And like I said, I think it's perfect during the holidays. And it's really what God asks
Yeah.
of us to begin with. So I think that's wonderful, Tamara. And I think that's really a powerful message for people.
Well, thank you to Shelley for joining us today as we talked about, try to unpack this Christmas chaos trap. And part of that is that 1 minute reset to breathe, to pray, to ask what matters most. But hey, listeners, if I just want to ask you a question, you can put a comment below. What part of Christmas sneaks up on you most? And maybe how you respond to that. Go ahead and let us know below. If you did enjoy this video, please click like. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. But I want you to be ready for our next episode, because we're going to show you that one thing that can truly make a difference, that can make Christmas meaningful, and you won't want to miss it.